Hi, Jarlaxle here, and today I'm going to talk to you about my Popcorn Spectre build. This was popular last league during Affliction League with the new corpses that league had. This build was based off the build of the week version that Balor Mage put out, and I tweaked it to my tastes, mainly to farm King of the Mists for the that which was Taken Jewels. I farmed those pretty much the whole league with this build. So I put a lot of emphasis on life regen and survivability because you could not die in that fight or you were not able to go back and finish it. You had to get someone else to come finish it for you. So I had a lot of regen to counteract the dots that he put on the ground and just all the damage over time in that fight. And it makes the build actually feel really great now on most other content just because it's got a lot of life regen. 2200, almost 2300 life regen, 5000 life. I got 85 resists, almost full on chaos resist. I'll have max block with bone offering up, ailment immune, poison immune for my ring, 60% reduced effective curses. Um, so yeah, it's fairly tanky. You know, I got 46,000 armor, almost 20,000 evasion. It plays quite well. So I'll pop in and show you the build in action, and then I'll explain some of the gear and mechanics behind it. Basically, we're just using a lot of these specters. They're the Dark Marionette specters. They regenerate themselves after 1 second after they die. So we have them hooked up with Infernal Legion and then minion instability to blow them up when they hit 50% life, which doesn't take long. And then they just resurrect themselves and do it again. So it's a fun build, very low maintenance, don't really have to do anything. I cast Bone Offering, I don't really need to for most stuff, but yeah, I got the brand for my curses and things, but again, it's not needed for just T16 maps. It's not the fastest clearer, but it is reliable and it's a good build. So I'm using, I think, 3 of the perfect Dark Marionettes, and the perfect ones, when they explode, will apply Scorch debuff to mobs, and you only need 2 or 3 because you can only put it on once, and that's usually enough to keep it up at all times. The rest are just regular Dark Marionettes. You don't want to use the imperfect ones if you can avoid it, because they don't have the extra 5% damage equal to their life when they explode. But you could use them and the build would still work. It would just be a little bit less damage. And here we get to the boss. Even with the wisps, it's really, you can't even tell they're hitting me. And easy peasy. So for the gear on this, pretty standard minion one. It has minion life, which you actually can't roll on these anymore for some strange reason. But otherwise, all you really need is minion damage, minion skills, all skills. The int is nice because I have a lot of tattoos on all of my int nodes, so I do actually benefit quite a bit from getting int on my gear in certain places to make up for that. Minion attack and cast speed doesn't do anything. Gloves, just life regen, chaos res, some life. Kikazuru ring, however you say it. I really like this ring. Just a huge amount of life regen. Reduced effective curses is nice. A little bit of stats. And then you get a nice implicit. Cannot be poisoned for this one. It's beneficial. The Wraithlord helmet that gives you 4 extra minions. Or 4 extra specters. Got nothing too special on these. Minion life. Flat life for me. Some movement speed. And corrupted blood immunity. Ray Spectre, Dragon Fangs, Flight. This is a big part of my version of this build. It allows me to not run the Fortress Covenant Jewel because I don't need it, with minions getting negative or minus 75% all resists, as well as getting the minions take 15% increased damage from the implicit. This is all I need to get them to pop at the appropriate speed. And I also get a big chunk of flat life on this, which is great for my build. Minus fire res, not great, but easy to counteract with a ruby flask. My shield is another crucible item. Mainly just extra life and 100% chance to avoid being shocked, which then I used the Storm Shroud Jewel to apply that to all elemental ailments. And the shield itself, just life regen, some minion life, and fixing some resists. Resist boots, life regen. As you can see, just life regen pretty much everywhere I can get it. My chest, grasping mail, I got +1 Spectre and 50% increased global defenses, which is a pretty nice combo I had to get with recombinators. Some more intelligence, resists, phys taken as, just mostly defensive stuff on all my gear, except for the hat with these jewels and the wand. It's very defensive focused. Taste of Hate. A lot of defense flasks, some move speed. And then for jewels, I have that which was taken mainly for the offering effect and for the 19% chance to cover enemies in ash. I do also get some benefit out of the final mod that gives onslaught while you have 5 nearby enemies. As you can see, my specters bounce between 4 and 5 at all times, and the onslaught is not constant, but it does pop up quite a bit, and it's really just there for a little extra move speed, and mainly for move speed for my specters, which allows them to get to the target faster so that they can blow up on it. Then we have Watcher's Eye for extra armor and mainly for the life recovery rate. Storm Shroud to get ailment immunity. Got this cluster, minion damage cluster, mainly for the dexterity because I was short on dexterity to run Grace. Hulking Corpses, minion life. Took all the minion life nodes on that. Just a small cluster for chaos resist, just to cap that off or get close to it. And then my other minion life cluster with life from death, which is vital for this build to function at its best. And then I did throw in Fortress Covenant there just off to the side because I don't want them to blow up any faster than they already are, but I did want that 45% increased minion damage. And then Melding of the Flesh to get all my resists at 85. So it is a very tanky build. Damage is always going on because the minions are blowing themselves up on their own. I don't have to do anything, which is nice. I enjoy my lazy builds, and this is up there with the best of them. And it is, yeah, very tanky and easy to play. But there are some drawbacks to this build, mainly the fact that we have to use these special corpses from Affliction League, which are very finicky. If you take off any of your gear that has an effect on the number of specters you have, or if you take off your Spectre gem, your corpses of these marionettes will fall to the ground. And if you don't catch it, then they will be lost. If you do catch it in time, you can just revive them or raise Spectre on them again, and they'll be back. But it does make upgrading your gear, or even just applying quality to it, can be enough to temporarily disable them and lose Spectres that way, which is never fun because these Spectres have been getting pricier as time goes by and the supply dwindles. But once you have them up, and if you do not change your gear at all, there is no real way to lose them, so that you don't really have to worry about it, except if you are modifying your gear. As you can see, they just go, blow up. Damage is really not an issue. And there you have it. I'll show off a Cyrus. And I did have an instance just a few days ago where I messed up and forgot to re-equip my Mage Blood when I logged on this character, and I ended up losing all 9 of my Marionettes because I cast Bone Offering without realizing that they were on the ground. So that was fun. And I swear that it used to be you could not cast Offering on Affliction corpses. I thought that was how they had them, and I'm pretty sure it is how they had them, but that does not seem to be the case anymore. So be careful with that, as well as the Recovery Mastery that lets you consume a corpse every, I think it's 3 seconds to gain life. That will eat you them if they fall on the ground, and pretty much any of the other items, there are mechanics in the game that consume corpses. It looks like everything's fair game on them now. So be careful with them. Get this guy to land. As you can say, it's pretty much just pop off brand that will cast Desecrate and my curses. And once it casts Desecrate, then I can do Bone Offering, and then I pretty much just sit there and wait until I need to do it all again. You can see even if you go into the degens, It's really very slow damage because of all the regen I have, which makes it a forgiving build that you can make mistakes on, which I make frequently. So that is the build, my version of it anyway. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be doing more videos soon of some of my other builds. This is one of my favorites though.